Joel Chernoff is joining us today here on the Meeting House on Faith Radio. He is the founder and executive board chairman for Joseph Project International. And we think about the crisis period in which Joseph was called. And you were just sharing with us about God's direction to you to actually provide relief in times of crisis. This is certainly a crisis moment for Israel. And I think it's important to note, of course, October 7th, people are very, very familiar with what occurred with the attack from Hamas. And then, of course, Israel announcing its intent to actually eradicate Hamas, to go on the offensive against this terrorist group. And there has been quite a bit of fighting, especially in the Gaza region. Of course, recently there has been much coverage about Rafah, which is thought to be the last Hamas stronghold. Something that you don't hear as much coverage of, I don't think, this is just my perception, and you can correct me, please feel free, but there's the thought of the timeline, well, October 7th, Hamas came in, then Israel came back. And it was kind of like a one-time attack. But Israel, ever since October 7th, has been under attack, not only from the Hamas group, but also from the Hezbollah group. And on May 24th, you actually experienced the firsthand attack from Hezbollah at an aid center that you operate in northern Israel. So Israel has been under attack, of course, for quite some time. Israel's been in the center of hostility from its neighbors, but ever since the Hamas attack on October 7th, there still has been consistent attacks upon Israel, correct?
Correct, yeah. Not only are they coming from the south in Gaza, but they're coming from Syria and also Lebanon and Iraq. There are constant attacks on Israel. And in fact, since the October war started, the Joseph Project International ramped up its operations based in the Jerusalem region in Beit Shemesh. And we've been able to import and accumulate over $16 million worth of aid since that time and get it to the terrorist victims and the displaced refugees inside of Israel, who had to get out of the north and the south, and also the army of Israel. But in the north, recently, what you're talking about is that the Joseph Project has a network of government agencies, civil agencies, city agencies, and even messianic agencies, all kinds of charities around the country that we bring aid and comfort to. And there was a messianic Jewish congregation in Kiryat Shimona, which is on the northern border, very close there to Lebanon. And Hezbollah has been increasing its rocket barrages and trying to destroy the northern cities, Kiryat Shimona being the biggest one, to try to drive out Israelis from even living there. That is their terrorist tactic. But one of our aid partners up there is a Messianic congregation. And we had just delivered aid and refrigerators to them. Even though most of the population is gone, there are still some there. The Messianic congregation is still operating, and they're supplying meals to the armies of Israel and to the soldiers of Israel fighting or just manning the ramparts in the north. And all of a sudden, a large anti-tank missile came in and exploded right in front of that particular facility, the Messianic facility. And it just decimated, just made it a wreck and a ruin, except for the two refrigerators we had just brought them, and some of the aid we had just brought them. Fortunately, there wasn't anybody in the facility at the time. So that was a blessing. But that particular facility sustained damage. So our trucks and our aid workers went up there quickly, and were quickly helping them restore that particular facility. But it is a very dangerous situation up there. No question. Israel is going to have to. They are being forced to, really. Whether the Biden administration likes it or not, they're going to have to go in and clean out the terrorists up there in Lebanon, Syria. And it's not going to be a pretty picture, believe me.
Mm. So how's this impacted your work?
Well, we fortunately, since we responded to God's call, that was in 1996, and we began shipping goods in 2000, 23 years later, the infrastructure has been built up. We have a large central facility in Beit Shemesh, and several trucks, and everything is computerized. It's beautiful system, beautiful infrastructure. So we've made close to 1,000 deliveries of goods. So that has really focused us, and we've been ramping up containers. We're probably doing double the number of containers normally that are coming in from various Christian charities around the world, a couple of Messianic charities coming from the United States, even Samaritan's Purse, who is very well known. We partner with them extensively, and they send us container loads. Gain in Europe, which is a large Christian charity in Europe, Nachamu in the Netherlands, even in China, Christian Chinese charities in Hong Kong send us many containers too. So they have all ramped up, and they are sending us containers for free. We just have to pay for the shipping and the customs when they get in, which we have a lot of experience doing. But the contents of the containers are free to us. So for every dollar that we spend to cover shipping, we can get $13 worth of aid in. That is a pretty good deal.
Joel Chernoff joining us today here on the Meeting House on Faith Radio from Joseph Project International. A couple of minutes remaining here, and I'd like for you to just share with our listeners where they can find you online and what they can learn.
Yes, we just encourage you to go to www.josephproject.org. That is one word, josephproject.org, O-R-G. And there you can just read all about the work that we're doing in the midst of the war, and even further than that. It's very, very extensive. What I would just encourage you to do, though, is to think about this as a partnership between Messianic Jews and Christians. This is really a tremendous opportunity to demonstrate what Paul talks about in the book of Romans 9, 10, and 11, that there is a Jewish olive tree where the root is Jewish, the trunk is Jewish, as Paul says, and the nations are grafted in. Our people need to see Jewish people and Christians, Messianic Jews and Christians, working together for the people of Israel. And we just encourage you to take this opportunity. Go to our website, josephproject.org, O-R-G, and take the opportunity while Israel needs such desperate help now, even as the world is turning against Israel. Evangelical Christian Zionists all over the world are partnering with us. Become a part of that army of aid, the army of the Lord, stepping into the breach, stepping into the gap to bless our people and to herald in the Messiah's second coming eventually, even as our people find the Messiah, as our people look to the God of Israel more and more, because he's our source. He will defend Israel. I have no doubt about that. I am confident about the state of Israel, less confident about the United States of America if we don't stand with Israel. So that's how you can get in touch with us.
Joel Chernoff joining us today here on the Meeting House on Faith Radio. What a blessing it has been to talk with you, sir, from Joseph Project International. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob, and God bless you all. Shalom.